Second part of news that isn't Judge Dredd.
Sorry. So the other news,
Which we're excited about, just in case.
Very excited about Judge Dredd. The other news is that earlier this year, Tom King started tweeting some panels and like some quotes from what was it from? I don't think it was Shakespeare. Anyway, that's not important. He was tweeting previews of New Gods. It turns out this week they announced that Tom King and Mitch Gerads' Sheriff of Babylon team are doing a 12-issue Mr. Miracle series.
That's going to be awesome.
And they've already released previews.
That's cool.
It looks amazing. Mitch Gerads is doing some phenomenal work. They're using a 9-panel grid, which has apparently become like back into a thing. I mean, obviously, reading comics 9-panel grids is a thing, but it's re-exploded in popularity. Like the comics Twitter was blowing up about it the last couple weeks. But sorry, I'm a little long-winded, but it looks great. Tom King has shown with the Bane arc and this whole Flash thing, which I think Josh Williamson is writing most of, but he's shown that he is developing more of a voice with Batman, and I want to see what kind of voice he has for Mr. Miracle, because it's the antithesis of Batman.
Yeah.
He's a guy who is in grave danger constantly, and he's had a shitty life. He was Apocalypse, or he was Darkseid's surrogate son, for God's sakes. He has had the worst life, and yet he still believes in hope and freedom, and he's got a loving marriage with Big Barda. I can't wait.
Yeah, it could be good. My biggest Tom King influence, like the most I've read of him has been this Batman run that I have been utterly unimpressed by.
Yeah.
So kind of hope that he stops writing Batman to go write this, and so we get another Batman. That'd be the kind of another Batman writer. But I'll check it out.
Yeah, you have to check out the preview. It's really cool. But it's like it's Scott Free, who is Mr. Miracle. He's laying on the couch with Big Barda, and Orion comes in. He's like, "Stand up, we have to do stuff." And he's like, "Seriously, dude?"
Yeah,
but the coolest thing is actually Mitch Gerads draws them other boxes like classic Mother boxes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're not cubes. Like they're not cubes in this series. They're actually cell phone. I mean, they're fucking cell phones, but that's what they are.
Yeah, it's really about the biggest bit of news.
Yeah,
we got this week. Other than I got my copy of Roughneck in this week.
You did.
My Jeff Lemire's. I think Gallery 13 published it. Gallery 13 Comics. It's like 200 some pages, just kind of like literally a graphic novel.
What's it about?
It is about it's a small story. I actually finished the book in like an hour. Like I sat down to read it and was like, I'll read tonight and then I'll have this weekend to read it. And next thing you know, it was done. I was like, holy crap! There's not a lot of words to it. It's a lot of he sells you a lot of stuff about his art. It's a really small story about a hockey player who has severe anger issues and gets kicked out of the NHL and is living back in his hometown, pretty much in a rink like a hockey rink.
Yeah.
That it's like a small town hockey rink where you can tell they probably do all kinds. It's not just primarily hockey, but he lives in like the janitor's closet, and it's just kind of him. He's there, and then his this girl shows up. It's his sister. It's not really a spoiler. She shows up, and there's some shenanigans, and it's a lot of overcoming your past and choosing a different path, kind of thing. It's like I said, it's a super small story. I don't want to spoil it. I could tell you the entire story, like the plot wise, in just a couple, like in a minute. It's a small, but it's awesome. Like that's what Lemire does best is small stories, a simple story that has like an emotional punch. It's fantastic. It's really good. Like because if you're used to reading like the big epic, crazy stories, this is more of a small slice of life, tiny story about that just impacts these 3 or 4 people. It's like, or maybe I think it's a cast of like 5 or 6 people, and it's just their life. Like the events of the book just affect these 5 people.
So it's more of like a slice of life.
Yeah, like it's not going to change the world. It's not a big news story. It's just, I mean, it's like even the people in this town probably wouldn't even know this situation ever happened.
Yeah,
and I love it. It's awesome. Lemire loves hockey. I think it's a part of like the Essex County kind of thing, because Essex County has a lot to do with like a hockey players and stuff, but I haven't finished Essex County yet. I keep meaning to. It's a little bit more of a read, but it's also awesome.
Well,
You can tell he's Canadian and he loves hockey.
I was about to say the same thing. I was like, well, he is Canadian.
So it's anything with Lemire's name on it, obviously buy.
No.
And I also read his Old Man Logan this week, but whatever. I'll talk more about it when
it'll be ending soon. We'll have a
May
big
31st. I think 31st. I think that's a Wednesday.
Probably. I don't know.
Saga comes back that week. I think Deadly Class is back.
That's a big week for comics.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Old Man Logan ends. Saga's finally back after that traumatic.
Jeff Lemire's Old Man Logan ends.
Yeah.
The true Old Man Logan ends.
I'll be checking out.
I'm excited to see what Ed Bryson does. I think he's a fine writer, and Mike Deodato, his art
sometimes
has been good lately.
Yeah.
So, but you said Saga.
Yeah.
Saga goes back after breaking our hearts.
We needed the break from Saga after that last issue. All those ending with all those black pages. Yeah. The trade ends that way too. If you pick up the trade, it ends like that. Drop that huge gut punch moment, kind of literally. But anyway, that trade ends that way. After the black pages, where it's like turn black page, turn black page, turn black page, it should just say, "Now go hang yourself."
Well, and
or here's the suicide hotline. Please call. Unlike
Kirkman, who The Walking Dead, a big character died, and Kirkman felt awful, and he wrote a letter in the back telling us how hard it was for him to write this issue. Vaughn just says, go fuck yourself. There it is.
Yeah. I'm always afraid with Vaughn because, like...
Nobody's safe.
Yeah. Which is great because it keeps you on your toes when you're reading the book when a character gets in a situation you're not like... it's not like SpiderMan where it's like, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's...
If he does die, he'll be back in a month.
Yeah.
So.
Or, in some form, you know. With Vaughn stuff, it's like, no, this really could literally be the it for this person. Yeah. Remender's the same way, except we did get Maria and Marcus back, which that issue, I've read that issue 4 or 5 times. Like if I'm feeling sad, I'll just go read that issue because it makes me happy every time when you get the reveal of like, he's alive.
And then he shoots the guy with a rocket launcher.
Yes, it's amazing.
It's a good time.
Yeah, because we see Maria's alive. You're like, oh, she's alive. and then Marcus saves her. It's wonderful. That's my palate cleanser when I'm really sad. I go read that Deadly Class because I know in a few issues he's gonna kill somebody and I'm gonna be really upset again. This is like a calm before the storm.
I think I've read the last few issues since Marcus came back. I haven't read.
It's the last issue we no, I took that back.
There's one or two, right?
One other after that. Okay. Yeah, Marcus came back. Yeah, and the next one's is Asaya.
I'm worried because I just know Helmet's gonna die.
Maybe.
I think he's gonna bite it.
It's probably he's a cool character.
I love Helmet. Yeah, so I'm worried about him dying.
Yeah, because they got that class has got to go through their
the rats.
I'm trying to think which that the whole other class like they've left them. We had their big introduction and we've kind of taken a break from them. Yeah. So,
well, Deadly Class, if it's to be believed, it should be ending soon. Here in the next year or so,
which is cool. Like I'll be excited. That's one. Like, I'm going to be sad when some of these end, like Saga and Deadly Class and whatever. But I am kind of excited for them to end so I could sit down, and East of West is another one, and just read them straight through. East of West I have to because I've forgotten what's happened.
Yeah, well,
man.
That's the thing is, like, and both of us, obviously, I read Deadly Class more so in the deluxe hardcovers. But East of West, it's on its final year, and then also Deadly Class. Well, Rick Remender said that they plan 32 issues. If it ends, that's here, there, whatever. And then also Black Science. Like, these 3 books that have been with Image since at least 2012, like they're ending now. It's a little sad, but it's also really cool that you actually get to crack open like 2 or 3 big massive tomes to read from beginning to end and have this really cool story.
East of West keeps dragging me back because like I get the issues and I keep just setting them aside because I've forgotten all the character interplay, like who's scheming with who and who's on what side, and just don't trust the Confederacy.
Never.
Like I've forgotten there's so many different plot lines and twists that I can't remember them all. So I need to go back and just read it all, like just from start to finish again. I'm waiting for Death to come back because I keep saying like I'll just wait. I'm just gonna wait until year 3 that we get that deluxe hardcover and then I'll just read it all. But as soon as Death comes, like it's an issue with Death in it, I'll come into the shop and you're like, Death is in this issue. Then it's like, damn it, I guess I got to read this issue, and then I don't understand half of the stuff. Well, I understand everything is happening with death.
Yeah.
I just don't understand everything is happening with like the Chosen.
Yeah, the Chosen and the political intrigue.
And what exactly the apocalypse is, and who's that one, like, prophet with the monster attached to him? Like,
well, you don't have to worry about him anymore. Apparently,
is he dead?
Some stuff happened with him.
I probably read it.
The wolf ate him.
That's right.
Yeah, and then it took over the wolf. Maybe we don't know yet.
There's some shenanigans with the wolf.
Yeah.
I just want the apocalypse to happen. Like the horsemen are out there, but they're just kind of like, I don't know what they're doing.
They're meandering.
Yeah, just like the horsemen of the apocalypse are here, and like the fact that the entire world isn't freaking out, like I guess there's some upriots and war and stuff happening, but I'm like, if I know the 4 horsemen are here roaming the earth, I'm like, you know what? To hell with it. I'm going fishing.
Yeah.
or I'm screw anything. I'm not having some rebellions or uprising or trying to like overthrow a government. I'm like, do whatever you want. The horsemen are here. We're all dead anyway.
And it's funny because we will eventually get to Long Halloween, I promise. But East and West, and you think of most stories with the 4 horsemen. Every time they show up, you should be freaked out. But then you read East and West, and it's the opposite. It's like you're more freaked out over the politics of everything, and you're more almost relieved to see the 4 horsemen just kind of meandering about. It's like, and then especially Death, who's the main character. It always puts a smile on your face when you see him on a page.
Yeah,
it's weird.
The horsemen are terrifying though, because
God, yes.
Because there's one guy who's just in one random issue who's just like, he's wounded, and they're there, and he's like begging for them to save him, and they're like, that's not what we do. Like, no, I'm not gonna save you. That's not what we do. We're gonna kill you, and we're gonna make it slow, and it's gonna be really painful, because that's who we are. Yeah. And it's like, oh God, but.
I love East and West.
I do too. I just need to go back and reread it. I need to get that year 2 hardcover.
You do.
But my money is going to so many different places at the moment.
That's fine. It'll be here for you.
Yeah, it will be.
It doesn't have as many cool extras as the first volume, but it's still nice.
It still looks good. The East and West I don't mind buying, because I know there's some hardcovers I don't mind buying. Like I bought Sagas this week, their second hardcover, because I'm going to read them again. Like, that's a series I'm going to absolutely sit down and read over again.
Most of my big Image series I will buy and I will support in single issues, and then I will support when they do deluxe hardcovers. Like I have begged Kurt Busiek and Benjamin Dewey about I have begged and I have annoyed to no end that creative team for Autumn Lands. I'm like, when's that Autumn Lands deluxe hardcover coming out? And if there's a book I like that I'm reading, I will tweet. I tweeted at Donny Cates when he was like, "Yeah, God Country's gonna be 6 issues." Like, any chance for deluxe hardcover, Donny Cates? Like, that is my bread and butter right there.
Oh yeah, I love a hardcover. I've slowed down buying a lot of hardcovers. I posted on Instagram, like my comic room, and that's all the hardcovers I own.